to another episode of SQL Interview Insights. Today let's solve another hacker rank problem. You are given a table, projects, containing 3 columns, task ID, start date and end date. And the difference between end date and start date is equal to 1 day for each row in the table. If the end date of the task are consecutive, then they are part of same project. Samantha is interested in finding the total number of different projects completed. We need to write a query to output the start and end dates of the projects listed by the number of days it took to complete the project in ascending order. If there is more than one project, then we have the same number of completion days than the order by start date of the project. And this is the expected output. We have the start date of the project, end date of the project, and number of days it took for the completion. And if you see here, for this one, in the projects table, for task ID 1 and task ID 2, the end date 02 and 03 are consecutive, and since they are consecutive, they belong to same project. So the start date will be 01 and the end date will be 03 here, and the duration it took is 2 days, and that is the output we see in this line. And similarly for task ID 7, 8 and 9, we see that the end date 12, 13, 14 are consecutive. That means they belong to same project, and the duration it took is 3 days, with the minimum start date is 2/11 and the end date is 2/14, and that's the output we see here. So we can approach these kind of problems using a row number approach. Using a row number, we should be able to find if the end date are consecutive or not. If we can generate the row number and subtract that row number with the end date and see if they belong to the same group. If they belong to the same group, that means those end dates are consecutive. So in this case, we have a task ID which looks similar like a row number with the consecutive numbers here. So rather than calculating another row number here, we can use task ID as a row number here. So let's get started. Let's see how the output looks like. I'll start with select start date, end date, and I'll subtract end date minus task ID. Let's call this as just a diff from projects. If you see here, we have the start date, end date. Let me put even the ID here so that it will be clear. Task ID. So we subtracted 1 from the end date here and we got 0201. We subtracted 2 from this end date, we got 0201. And if you see here, this one belongs to same group because we have the same the end dates with the same difference here. And likewise, these belong to same group, they belong to same group. Now all we have to do is group by with this difference and get the minimum date, maximum date and the count. So let's do a select minimum start date as start date, maximum end date as end date, and do a count of diff actually. As number of days from, just give some alias here and do a group by diff. We need to do an order by. So they have, if there is more than one project, that they have the same number of completion dates. Even before that, we need to have number of days it took to complete the project in ascending order. So that will be our number of days. And in case of having the same number of days, we need to have a start date with the ascending order. So now we have the start date 0204 and end date 05 with number of days completion as 1, and this is the expected output, and this is the output we got. Thank you for watching this video.